Hello there, welcome to Just the Discs. We talk about Blu-rays and 4Ks here. And today I am just going to be talking about some recent pickups I made from Second Sight Films in the UK, who, if you're a collector, you know their sets are darned enticing and difficult to resist, as they do sell out and you will have regrets if you don't get them. But while they are incredibly well put together, they're also pretty pricey. So I've had to set aside a little money to kind of keep an eye on things that Second Sight is doing. I think most recently I pre-ordered the High Tension 4K through Diabolic DVD. Looking forward to that one, but they always do a really great job. So some of these, this one in particular, this is Martin, George Romero's Martin. This is earlier this year, and so I'm grouping these together, but I've gotten them over the last 4 or 5 months. And this one was such a long time coming and so exciting to get, and it's so heavy that I can't even put it on my display stand because it will just make it fall down. These are really hefty and well put together boxes. It's a matte finish box for Martin, and Martin, by the way, is one of my favorite George Romero films. It may be my favorite. On the day you ask me, might depend, but it was such a neat thing to hear that this was going to get a 4K. First, it was going to get a Blu-ray from Second Sight, if I recall, and then we started hearing the news unfold, and it was going to be a 4K, and that was even more exciting. And it just took a long time to get here. I know that there were maybe some issues with a financial settlement. I'm not exactly sure what the deal was, but this set is finally here, and it's worth the wait. It comes with some nice like lobby card type things, new art, really, really nice looking, as well as a full-on book, which also has some new art. But I mean, this is a book. This is not a booklet, and that's one of the things that's nice about these Second Sight limited editions, is they tend to come with the nice hard case, which is beautiful, and then these books, which you can't get again once the limited edition is gone. And this book is super nice and includes essays from Kat Ellinger, Alexandra Heller Nicholas, Simon Ward, Stephen Thrower, Heather Drain, Travis Crawford. I mean, it's packed with stuff and some nice full color photos, beautiful matte finish. I really love this book. And then, of course, the discs themselves come in a fold out package style, which includes the 4K, a Blu-ray, and a compact disc soundtrack as well. And that's really cool to get the soundtrack, which I actually forgot was included in this. So even more exciting to have that. Now, I think you can still get the discs, I think the 4K and maybe the Blu-ray, but I'm not sure that the soundtrack is included anywhere else. I can't be sure of that. But anyway, for those that don't know, bearing the lead on Martin, the back says, a troubled young man who believes himself to be a vampire goes to live with his elderly and religious cousin in a small town in Pennsylvania, where he tries to redeem his blood-craving urges after he falls for a lonely housewife. All the while, his hostile cousin becomes convinced that the young man is actually Nosferatu. And it's really, really a good movie. Like, legit, this is the guy that made Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, and I still say this may be my favorite of his movies, and I love those films. This is a new Second Sight 4K restoration, supervised and approved by Director of Photography Michael Gornick, presented in HDR, audio commentary by George A. Romero, John Amplis, and Tom Savini. That's from a DVD, but that's great to have. Audio commentary by George Romero and Richard P. Rubenstein, Tom Savini, Michael Gornick, and Donald Rubenstein. I can't wait to dig into these because I don't think I've heard these commentaries. A new commentary by Kat Ellinger, a new commentary by Travis Crawford, Taste the Blood of Martin, a new feature-length documentary including location tour. Scoring the Shadows, a new interview with composer Donald Rubinstein. Jay Roy and New and Used Furniture, a short film by Tony Bubba. Making It Martin, a recounting and trailer and radio spots. Rigid Slipcases is the limited edition. Soft cover book with new essays by Daniel Bird, Miranda Corcoran, Travis Crawford, Heather Drain, Kat Ellinger, Andrew Graves, Alexandra Heller Nicholas, Elena Lazick, Stephen Thrower, John Tolson, Simon Ward, and Tony Williams. Original soundtrack CD by Donald Rubinstein. 5 collectors character art cards illustrated by Adam Stothard. So just really one of the best releases of the year that I've been sitting on and I haven't had a chance to dig into. But now it's October. Now is the time to watch the scary stuff. I've been watching it all year, but it's a good excuse to really say, okay, let's do this now. But very, very happy with this Martin set. And more horror, we have the It Follows 4K limited edition set from Second Sight. Again, this one is really hefty and hard to keep on a stand. But it's a similar kind of setup where you have the wonderful hard box. You have a J card on the outside and the wonderful hard box. And this is the, I think, 4K debut of this film. But again, includes the art cards. And this time, this is a fully bound book. This is not even a soft cover. This is a hardcover, fully bound book. This is why you get the limited edition. And it's beautiful in that the paper is black for part of it and that the text is white. And it's just this wonderful matte finish. It just feels good to flip through it. Just a really nice hardcover book. I can't be sure that these are all in print, folks. I do apologize about that. You may still be able to get these. I mean, obviously there's always eBay if nothing else, but it's just something to do to keep an eye on what Second Sight is doing. Like I said, I kind of keep a little money handy just in case they announce something, because it is a little bit erratic in terms of what's come out. I love this description. A young woman is followed by a terrifying supernatural force after a sexual encounter with her new boyfriend. That is what the movie's about, but obviously there's more to it than that, and I love that description. But it's one of the great, I think, horror movies of the last 20 years. This came out in 2014, I think, and it just really knocked me out. It was one of those where I liked it when I saw it, but I've since come to love it, and I've watched it 4 or 5 more times since that initial viewing, and I find it to be still relevant, still incredibly effective, and just scary. The idea that you have sex and then this demon or something starts following you and will not stop, almost like a Terminator. No matter where you go, it is walking towards you at all times, and it's just such a scary notion. And there's some great jump scares in the movie and just some great uneasy stuff in it, and the idea that it's not really explained. I always like that we have teenagers who are trying to sort it out, but they don't really know what's going on, and so they have sort of a sense of the rules of it, but we don't really know what the rules are or where it comes from or why it's doing what it's doing, and I love that about it. The back says dual edition, including both UHD and Blu-ray with the main feature and bonus features on both discs, new 4K master from Second Sight Films, and the original post-production facility, approved by director David Robert Mitchell. UHD presented in Dolby Vision HDR, new Dolby Atmos audio track produced by Second Sight Films, new audio commentary by Joshua Grimm, audio commentary by Danny Lee and Mark Jankovic, Chasing Ghosts, a new interview with actor Keir Gilchrist, following a new interview with actor Olivia Liccardi. It's in the House, a new interview with producer David Kaplan, Composing a Masterpiece, a new interview with composer Rich Vreeland, A Girl's World, a new interview with production designer Michael Perry. It Follows, The Architecture of Loneliness, a video essay by Joseph Wallace. And the limited edition contents, rigid slipcase, another just beautiful box and nice design. By Thin Din, 150-page book with new essays by Ann Bilson, Martin Contario, Kat Ellinger, Eugenio Ercolani, Matt Glaspie, Kat Hughes, Jeannie Kermode, and Katie Reif. And then the 6 collectors art cards. They're not even lobby cards, they're these new art cards that they put out. And this one, again, has both the Blu-ray and the 4K in a case. But yeah, just a beautiful box. Just one that I was like, I gotta have that. Their 4K sets are just so enticing and so... I mean, they're a good investment if you were into that side of things. If you were like, well, I want to collect things that I can maybe later recoup on should I need or want to get rid of them. These are sets that will hold their value, obviously, and continue to do so to the present, because they are limited runs and they have to be acquired usually through some sort of secondary means. You can sometimes order direct from the UK, but there have been cases with Second Sight where you had to order from Diabolic or Orbit DVD or somebody else, an importer, to get them because the rights are so region locked. I know Martin was a tricky one, that they don't want you buying them if you're not in the UK, so you have to kind of do it sneakily. Okay, so lastly we have May, and this is Lucky McKee's film from 2002. This is one of my wife's favorite movies. This is one of the reasons I picked this one up. Definitely a unique and memorable film from Lucky McKee. It says, May, a socially awkward veterinary assistant with a lazy eye and an obsession with perfection, descends into depravity after developing a crush on a boy with perfect hands. That boy played by Jeremy Sisto, who Elric and I were just commenting on after having seen Wrong Turn as part of the New Beverly annual horror show. Wrong Turn closed out the show in the midnight slot and was a movie that I had not seen to that point for whatever reason. I hadn't even seen it on DVD. But in the theater, Wrong Turn is just a blast, an absolute, thrill ride. And Jeremy Sisto is part of that cast, and we were just kind of remarking how we kind of miss him, and we don't see him as much. And maybe he's doing more TV, I don't even know. But anyway, he is the focus of May's attention in this one. Angela Bettis plays May, and she does a wonderful job. So this one, again, has the rigid slipcase, very nice and new artwork. This has the soft cover book, which is just beautiful. I love these books. They're really nice. And the art cards as well as the 4K itself. Now this one is just a 4K and nothing else. But it's not, I've had to import, like I had a German media book of May, and there hasn't been really in the States great treatment of this movie outside of a DVD. So this is really neat because it's got a new audio commentary with Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, audio commentary with director Lucky McKee, cinematographer Steve Yedlin, editor Chris Silverstone, and actors Angela Bettis, Nicole Hiltz, and Brett Roberts. Audio commentary with director Lucky McKee, editor Ryan Johnson, composer James Luckett, formerly credited as J. Barnes Luckett, production designer Leslie Keel, and craft services guy Benji. The Toy Maker, an interview with director Lucky McKee. Perfect Hands, an interview with actor Jeremy Sisto. Blankety Blank, an interview with actor James Duvall. How to Execute a Murder, an interview with cinematographer Steve Yedlin. Peeling Back the Layers, an interview with editor Ryan Johnson. And Jack and Jill, an interview with editor Chris Silverstone. And In the Cut, an interview with editor Kevin Ford. Blood, Gore, and Rock and Roll, interview with composer James Luckett. Bits and Pieces on the Set of May, From Frankenstein to May, Dr. Miranda Corcoran on May. So yeah, and then like the rigid slipcase, 70-page book with new essays by Joseph Dwyer, Dr. Rachel Knightley, Mary Beth McAndrews, and Heather Wixon, as well as those art cards. So another beautiful 4K set from Second Sight. And when I do get the high tension set, I'll definitely make a point to show that here on the channel as well. But like I said, keep an eye on Second Sight always, because they are doing what is often Disc of the Year material with just about every release they put out, which is pretty impressive. Like I said, I know Martin will be on my list of favorite releases of the year. I'm pretty sure It Follows will be when I get through all this stuff, and maybe the same will go for May as well. So great stuff from Second Sight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.